And it comes out to the 25-yard line.
And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Brings up second and 11 at the 24-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a second and 11. Now Murray throwing on second down. This one into the hands of Burton. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Murray now on first down. That's into the hands of Edwards. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Kill.
On second down now, Dobbins. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On third down, Dobbins, and he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on third down.
First down, Chicago.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing on first down is Murray. Hits his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Taylor Gabriel, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears.
The score, Bears 7, Colts nothing.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Funches has it complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They got 29 yards that time. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
They'll run here with Mack. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Here's 2nd and 8. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, is intended target. But now it's 3rd and goal.
This goes to the goal line. You got to be very careful what the offense calls rub routes. When I call a pick trying to screen you off from your coverage, does a nice job of avoiding that and helping force an incompletion.
Back to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. That pick hurts a little extra because here's 3rd down. You were already in field goal range.
You know what he's going to hear all night, all next week? Situational football. Understand what's going on because you expressed it perfectly. 3 points were in their hip pocket. They had those. Now, those went by the wayside. You cannot make those kind of mistakes.
What you call a rookie mistake. Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the Colts' 31-yard line.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll go down at the 28. 4 yards the pickup, first down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Right back to him on first down. On the tackle that time, Bruce Irvin.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Second down, Murray sets to throw. Now the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And into the red zone now in Charles. They told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points, so you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing.
Yeah, that's caught for a Bear touchdown. It's the tight end, Trey Burton. Trey Burton with touchdown number 7 on the year as the Bears push further out in front. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Going jet sweep, here's Campbell. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And just like that, it's third down. It's caught by Funchess. 9 yards on the play and a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On second down, here's a run with Mack. Oh, he's got a little daylight. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's 2 ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the Bears' 21-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. 2nd and 9 now. And he's going to have the connection to Foster. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
3rd and 7.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Now back to throw. And it's caught. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Looking to run with Mack. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time.
Watch a slack, watch a slack.
2nd and 6. And he's got his tight end. That's Ebron, and it's a Colt touchdown. Eric Ebron, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Bouncing back nicely from that bad opening drive where he threw the interception. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field and into the end zone.
So obviously his confidence was never lost, and that's a good thing to see. Great quality to have, and you absolutely must maintain that as a quarterback. But I have to think that they're probably still on the script that they prepared for this game. Just the second drive. They've worked on these plays all week in practice. Put them to good use on that one.
This will be taken short. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, A 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. On 2nd and 15 now. Murray caught by Montgomery. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
First down, Murray. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They'll run it with Mack. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class. There was a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it 2 different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short gain.
Again, it'll be Mack. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Marlon Mack hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
I feel like I'm back in school. What was that book, you know? It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. This has been a tale of 2 quarters so far. They trailed 14-0 after 1. How about the rally we've been watching?
Yeah, a couple of touchdowns. PAT here to tie it up. This is a good ball game all of a sudden. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And that 14-0 lead to begin the ball game, well, that's gone now. Time to regroup.
I think even up 2 touchdowns, they knew this wasn't going to be a walk in the park, and I think that's why we would see the head coach going up and down the sidelines telling his team, let's stay with it, let's keep going. It's almost like he knew they were going to make the run at him, and they have. As you said, let's see if they can regroup and get going again. Now, that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. On 2nd down, here's Murray. And that'll be incomplete. David Montgomery, the target out of the backfield. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Hey, 50. Let's go. 50's the mark. That's the pass. Hey, no, look, we got Mike 50. Mike on.
Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. And Robinson with a big catch. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. They fake the handoff, now Murray. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down. From the gun on third down, Murray. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson, as the first half is winding down. And the Bears have taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 21-14. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go. The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Come on, D.
They'll throw now on the final play. And that's incomplete. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Colts take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A first down there on a pickup of 25. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
At the 49-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
I'm coming. I'm coming. Go, go. Nice 50. Don't let him breathe. Don't let him breathe.
They'll look to throw. Campbell making the catch. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Let's go, D.
He'll look to throw. Letting one go deep for the end zone. That ball caught by Funchess. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Devin Funchess, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. The fly route works for the TD Graham.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did, all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Murray, he bootlegs it. He'll buy some time right. He'll run it, and he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain.
Watch the twist. 45. Mike, 45. Yeah, let's get a sack lunch.
To throw on 3rd down, Murray. That's complete to Robinson. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Murray now on 1st down. Gonna let one fly for Robert. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year, as his guys are able to regain the lead. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And it's good. That makes it a 28-21 game.
Bears 28, Colts 21.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
Colts take over first and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time. Let's get up.
He'll drop to throw. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, he's picked off near his own 48. They brought the house that time on the young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand they have to break off their routes quickly as well.
Check 45 the mic. Hey, watch his flat. Watch his flat. Watch his flat. Watch his flat. Bang, bang, bang.
They'll run on first down. It's Montgomery. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
17-yard line.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Now Murray throwing on 2nd down. This one into the hands of Burton. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Trey Burton, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
Colts 21.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Right there. 3 buzz, 3 buzz.
Staying on the ground with Mack. He finds an opening past the 40 as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
You better be afraid of me. 50's the mic. 50's the mic.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. He's picked off at his own 47. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
At the 47-yard line.
I got it. I got double time. Double time. 3 down, 3 down. Hey, check. 3 running.
On first down, Montgomery. He picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you stop the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Bears on third down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. This will be 3rd and 5. Shotgun now from Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They can't stop Bruce Irvin there as he slips in for the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
They'll start on the ground with Mack. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. 20. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there for Indy. 83 yards.
He was taken down by Kyle Fuller. First and goal at the 4-yard line.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first and goal situation. This is Hines, and he takes it in for a Colts score. Nyheim Hines, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are back within a single score. So the big play to kick off the drive set them up first and goal, and they're able to cash in right away on play number 2.
I think I'm starting to understand more and more when we get ready to do games and we meet with coaches why they talk about big plays, explosive plays, and how it sets them up for success, because that's exactly how they were able to score on this one. We saw the touchdown. We saw the payoff. But, of course, that big, long chunk play is what got them in position.
At their own 25-yard line.
Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
Now Murray off play action. Stepping up, he'll try and run. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. How good has he been throwing the football, though? And despite that incompletion, that's just the 3rd time he's been off target this entire game.
And, Brandon, I've been on the other side of this equation, trying to defend a guy who's been this hot, and it chips away at your confidence. And when you're not confident when you're trying to defend, it makes you slower to the football, and it leads to more completions for them.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
58, boys, 58, 58, money. 3 bucks.
Murray again, 2nd and 10. That's caught by Montgomery. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
And they're enjoying a fourth-quarter advantage.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Murray going to throw. And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing that puts them in that position.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. 30. And they get this all the way inside Chicago's 10. A big hitter there from deep in their own territory. 86 yards.
First and goal at the 6-yard line.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on first and goal. Now it's Hines. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. Second and goal from inside the 5.
I'm here all day.
They run again with Hines. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. They'll try and run. Here's Mack. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. They'll run for it. It's Mack. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Marlon Mack with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year, as they can now tie the game with the extra point here in the final 2 minutes. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. To throw is Murray. Being chased out left. And he's going to keep it here. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Back to throw, Murray. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Murray to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And this one's incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And it'll bring up 3rd down. The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. And that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
Now Murray. He finds Robinson. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. You talk about a big kick under pressure in the fourth quarter. I mean, that wasn't like a 33-yarder. That was long distance.
Not only does it show the faith that they have in him, but also remember, if they miss that one, they're giving up the ball near midfield, so they had to be very confident that he was going to put that one through the post.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time,
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. He's back to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll look to throw. It's caught by Funchess. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Back to throw. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 2.
A field goal try would be almost 50 yards from this spot, so what can they do to get closer now on third down? They'll try and run for this with Mack. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. 4 seconds to go. This would send us to overtime. And his kick is good. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. And we have free football overtime. Here we go, my friend.
And the way this game played out, this is exactly how it should end, going to overtime, because neither one got an advantage today.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. Now a first throw here in overtime. They'll find Hines out of the backfield. He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down. And the linemen, they're already walking back. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. And now 3rd and very long. Are you cautious here?
I think you have to be, because the first mantra of any football game is don't lose it. Then you give yourself a chance to win it. And if you go ahead and force something now, take a big shot that doesn't pay off, you didn't help your defense out at all.
Yeah, especially here in overtime. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. Oh, so close but incomplete. Could have been a big turnover in overtime if he'd held on. Instead, though, it's 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez on for a very important punt here in overtime. Fielded at the 33. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it, but they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job.
Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. There he goes left side, and he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. Still catching our breaths from that electric finish. You get into overtime, that's one thing. It was a great 4 quarters. But then in OT, not only to win it, but to win it on a defensive score. Wow.
Oh, definitely. And I think from now on, we're going to definitely travel someone who could help us because I thought I was going to pass out at the end. Not just getting to the overtime, but the plays in overtime that led to this one, and to finish it on a defensive touchdown, a takeaway that gets into the end zone. I'm not rooting for anyone, but boy, I love to see games finish that way.
So for Indianapolis, the win gets them back to 500 at 6-6 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Bears, it's a tough one to swallow as they drop back to 8-4 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew,
She needs me.